Absolutely, the Lamasery believes that in our heart of hearts. Uh,
Right?
I mean, he's talking about the higher earth. He's talking about whether you want to call it the higher heaven. It's his world, but it's very powerful. So, what is that? If his kingdom's not of here, then ask yourself, where is it? Right?
Right.
But then again, you have a conversation about heaven and where is really heaven. I know a lot of psychologists have tried to define what they consider heaven, and they've come up with a common denominator that sounds very much like what a fetus is experiencing inside its mother's womb. You know, it's comfy, it's cozy, it's 98.6. It's a jacuzzi, if you will. They're constantly being fed. They poop, they pee in the mother's womb. All that's going on. And boy, you feel like you haven't been loved since you left there. So you want to get back to that. That's actually when you ask people to write down what they really think heaven is. It's funny, but to a lot of psychologists, that's what comes up. What what is obvious is that people who vibrate, you'll hear a lot of this in tomorrow's Daily Lama. See, we go through a day and night of God every 24,000 years. It takes about 12,000 years to go. It wasn't 7 days. I'm sorry to say, if you're holding on to that superstitious concept, you got a long way to go. If you actually think that 7 days meant 7 days, they were days, but let's define what a day and a night of God is. And a day and a night of God is 12 to 24,000 years. Now, when we're talking seven, what are we really talking about? Actually, we're in the middle of the seventh cycle since Adam that gives us that period of time. And why is that important? Well, Adam, God the Father, used Adam to implement his DNA. That's really important. Jesus came to activate it.
There you go.
Wow. Jesus came to activate. Jesus told us that through second birth that we had to be born of the water of the mother and to be born of the fire of the Father. And as you're born, so when you're in the golden age, puberty and second birth are in totally alignment. And we all know that that starts average about 12 to 14 years. It's usually done by 18 to 21 years old. So in that period of 8 to 9 years, we should be opening all our vortexes. We should go completely through what the Far East calls the Kundalini Experience, or what Master Rabbi Jesus referred to as second birth. They're one and the same thing. And we should be on the other side of that. The further we are away from the peak day or the golden age of God, there is a gap between puberty and the second birth. So the endocrine gland system in the energy body is referred to as chakras. That's what it is. It's the psychic endocrine gland system. And in them, you have nerve plexus that number 72,000 that in 4 and 5D connect with 3D, the central nervous system of the body. So you can kind of see what starts to happen. Your involuntary nervous system that was basically asleep, guess what? Gets woke up. Everything gets woke up. You've got 144,000 parathyroids in the body that want to be switched on. You got an involuntary nervous system that becomes as voluntary as the voluntary nervous system. And one thing, and the blood heats up. Ask Jimmy, the blood heats up like it feels like hot lava
Yeah.
going through your veins. Your pigmentation changes because your circulatory system becomes more efficient. Your rest, everything is heightened. That's who that you are. And when you're in the midst of that, you're going to be shocked because you're going to have a direct experience with Master Rabbi Jesus if that's one of the desires in your heart.
Yes.
If it's desire for you to see Buddha or Mohammed or Moses or Kuan Yin or Mother Mary, guess what? You're going to see them too. And you know what? You've been sitting around waiting for them to come tap you on the shoulder and give you the walking papers. I'm going to tell you a secret. They've been waiting for you to vibrate where they are.